Alright guys, so for this unboxing video, we are going to be unboxing the Rimuru Tempest FuRyu Phoenix 1/7 scale from the show That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime or Tensei Shitara Slime Kin. So this is going to be my first figure that I'm opening from this company, and I picked this up from AmiAmi. If you ever get the 120 size box from them, usually if you buy like one scale, it's gonna most typically come in that 120 size. I chose to ship with DHL off AmiAmi, and their prices have been going up. However, it's kind of up to you guys to decide whether or not that's worth it to you. Before I start, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then yeah, let's go ahead and begin. Alright, here's some artwork from AmiAmi. It's kind of like their thank you card type of thing. Yeah, you could tell by AmiAmi packaging, they do pack it pretty well. They have these pre-made AmiAmi boxes. All right, taking a look at the box, there is like 3 pieces of tape. As you can see, it comes with an instruction manual. Nothing else in the box. Looks like there's a little bit of a design inside. Usually with these kind of packaging, they usually tape the outsides. This is the Demon Lord throne. Just having a hold of it, it does feel pretty darn light. This is a totally different feel from kind of the Levi suit version of my Real Action Heroes that I have. This is definitely, it feels, I don't want to say cheaper, but it feels lighter. It feels lighter for sure. I'm not quite sure how I completely feel about this chair just yet, but the size is great. The sturdiness, I'm not too sure. It's kind of like a hollow chair. And then here we had Demon Lord Rimuru Tempest. It definitely feels like a lot heavier than the chair. If you look at the bottom, they flatten out his butt. His or her butt. He's supposed to be kind of like genderless, I guess, but you could tell it's supposed to sit flat. Judging by the instruction, it looks like we're supposed to take off the right arm and then put the slime there. So let's go ahead and do that. You can see on like the shoulder arm that there's like that crease right there, and it should just pop off. It didn't feel too bad. I just kind of shook it loose and then it just popped out. That was pretty easy to do. And I guess the slime, it just goes right in his lap. It kind of fits there pretty perfectly, so there's nothing really to worry about right here. It fits on pretty good. Then let's go ahead and put that arm back on. That was super easy. Just one thing to note with the arm, you want to make sure, since it did come off pretty easily, I mean, it could fall off kind of easier, right? So you kind of just want to make sure it's in there firmly and not just fall off out of nowhere. So let's give it a little test. Give it a little toss. That it stays on pretty good and firm. And then, yeah, it fits right on pretty good. And then the last thing to pick up is just the sword. All right, here's a look at the katana. All right, let's talk about this figure real quick. So my first impressions overall on the figure, there's only 4 pieces. So you have the body itself. So you have Rimuru Tempest, and then you have the slime piece, the katana, and the throne. My issue would be probably the throne. The throne isn't, when you look at the figure, it actually looks really, really good. It looks, the painting, the detail, it's fine. Like it's solid for a 1/7 scale figure. There isn't any like super detailed part. It's not like the Precious Gem of like the Mega House series where you could tell that there's a little bit more intricacies about the figure, but with this figure, there's nothing that actually like pops out that's that amazing. If you look at the slime, the fact that it's like made a bit differently, I'm not sure what kind of material the slime is made out of, but it has a certain shine. It has that certain kind of like that pearly jade feel that makes it look really, really good for being such a basic looking part of the figure. It's actually the one thing that actually pops out. But going back to the throne, it feels very, very light. It's a hollow throne. So now this is the Levi suit version of the real action hero of Metacom. If you look at the chairs itself, like I know this is a doll figure and all that, but the prices are pretty much the same. Like it costs around like $210, $220 without shipping in US dollars. And it costs about the same, $210, $220 without shipping for the Rimuru Tempest figure from FuRyu. If I had to choose between the two that I would prefer to get, I would totally get the Levi version. The chair is definitely light, but I just like the painting or whatever the glossy kind of shine look is. I like that a lot more for this figure. This figure, it looks a little bit more plain. You know, now I'm happy that I have something to kind of compare to with another figure that has a similar kind of pose, because you could tell here, like what pops out the most. What pops out the most is the slime, actually, rather than the other parts of the figure. And I just wish that they added a little more detail to maybe Rimuru Tempest, or maybe make the chair pop out more in the color, but it just looks kind of dull. It looks kind of plain. Judging by the pose itself, I love the pose. Like there was the Nendoroid, and then there was this scale figure, and I was like, why? I'm just gonna pick one of the two. So I decided to get the scale figure. I'm still pretty happy with the figure because I like the pose. I like the way it looks, but I think the level of detail, I think they could have made the hair, the colors pop out a little bit more. I like the pastel kind of teal kind of colors, and that's what this figure pops out as. The fact that it's kind of hollow, it feels kind of like you know, at first glance or just seeing it, it looks amazing, but when you feel it and you have to move it around, that's where the issues come in. And then if you look at the painting itself is like, I mean, they painted it on pretty decently. I don't know if you could really tell, but the painting down the gold lines down the middle of his shirt, it's okay. Like it's not. There is a slight painting error right here, a little smudge, so a little bit nitpicky. From afar, you can't really tell, but up close you can tell. So those are a few things I do have a problem with the figure in that way. But sometimes with these figures, like you're kind of trapped by who makes it. If I could have Mega House or some other company make a figure, make every single figure of my favorite anime and my favorite characters, you know, I would love for that certain company that I love to do that. But that's not the case. Sometimes we have to settle for, you know, someone else that's created something that you want that maybe another company doesn't have the license for, or whatever the case is business wise, that they can't make this figure. So I'm still happy that I still have this figure. I paid about $255, $260. So the FuRyu Phoenix version, this scale figure it's good. It's solid. It does what it needs to do, you know, which is look cool overall. But when you start getting to the nitty-gritty, intricate details of it, that's where I think this figure misses the mark. They could have picked a different color that pops out more if you're gonna have a chair that's kind of light, hollow. You can't really see the light and hollow part. The painting, the colors, I think they could have did a better job to get the colors to contrast the figure, or get the figure colors of the painting to contrast the chair. And the best part of the figure is like, you know, really funny, but it's the slime. The slime is what it is. I read on Reddit, I saw a picture on Reddit that, you know, the katana is kind of small for the scale of the figure, but I don't really have that big of a problem with the katana. I mean, it's just the accessory piece to add to the overall coolness of the figure. But the overall figure itself, I still love it. But let's say I put a rating on this. Like, I really don't want to put ratings on figures, but this is like a 7.5 out of 10. And that criteria where I kind of just made that up is basically, is the pose good? The pose and the aesthetics overall, how well does that look? Because that's ultimately what matters, right? So overall, like, if I just looked at it, I'd be like, wow, that's pretty damn cool. You know, I wouldn't say anything right off the bat like, whoa, this is kind of dumb looking. They picked up like a perfect pose. I still like the figure. I still like the figure. I know I was trying to get off Right Stuff Anime, but the cutoff date was already out. So I was just on AmiAmi.com just refreshing every day. And once someone dropped the pre-order or AmiAmi added another quantity, I snagged this up real quick. So I'm pretty damn happy that I was able to get a figure of Rimuru Tempest from one of my favorite shows in the past like couple years. So I'm happy about that. This is definitely going in the display in the DTOF, probably next to Levi, because all the kings, all the demon lords, that type of stuff, man, it belongs on the top of the shelf. Yeah. So what do you guys think about the figure? You know, so let me know what you guys think in the comments below about what the figure looks like to you. So please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna be doing this. I still have like 4 more figures that I'm gonna make videos for in the next like 2-3 weeks. So I have more coming out. So stay tuned to that. I'm gonna definitely have some blog posts up for otakusin.com. If you guys haven't been to my blog yet, please go to otakusin.com. I talk about the anime figures. You know, I have more pictures and things that I missed in the video. I'm definitely gonna have that in the blog. I'm gonna reiterate some things. I'm gonna have some things in there that maybe I didn't speak about now in the video, as I'm kind of reacting to what it looks like after I unboxed it, assembled it. And I also talk about other animes that came out, especially Demon Slayer is like my favorite anime right now. Attack on Titan's out right now. I'm sure a lot of people are going to have a lot of things to say about that. Please go to otakusin.com. Check out my reviews for the new animes that came out. And I'll definitely have anime figure reviews for these figures there. I already had the Levi one up on the channel right now. This is my first figure that I wrote a blog for, that I made a video for. Go ahead and check that out. Please go to otakusin.com. Subscribe to this channel. Like the video. And I'll see you guys on the next video.